Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing and leaving comments. Speaking of comments, I do get the question a lot. How do I get games? Do I get games for free? Do I buy games? What is going on? Because I do play quite a few games, and if you buy all these games, then that will cost you a lot of money, right? Now, since I have this YouTube channel, I have various sources to get my keys from. It does help if you have a channel where you do reviews or let's plays or whatever. If you cover games, then that helps a lot. So there is this service. This is a website called Keymailer, and if you have a channel, you can connect your channel to Keymailer, and through Keymailer you can apply for keys of games. Usually there are a lot of indie games available on that platform, and you can just apply and wait for the companies to respond whether or not they will give you a key or they decline a key. So that's a big source for me actually to get keys for games and for free. Although there is a sort of an agreement going on where you get your game key, and then you have to cover the game on your channel, of course, because that's just how it is. That's the rule. They're not gonna enforce it or anything like that, or they're gonna throw you off the website if you don't cover the game. But it's something you do, of course, when you apply for a game. Make sure that you're gonna cover the game as well. They don't say that you need to write a good review or something like that. It's all up to you. So I do apply for these games on that platform, and then when I get a key, I do my best to cover the game, usually through a review or something of that sorts. Now, there are also other ways to get free games, and that is to go on Twitter. So make a Twitter account. I also link my Twitter account to my YouTube so that the developer who's also on Twitter or the publisher can see in my bio that I have a YouTube channel. And I'll just reach out. I'll just reach out to publishers, developers, and say, hey, do you have a spare key? Can I play your game? Can I cover your game? I want to do a review of your game. Usually games that look interesting to me, that I definitely want to cover. Also, I try bigger companies and bigger publishers, but usually you won't get a key from them, so you really need to focus on the more indie developers or indie games, and you have a good chance of getting a key for free. And it's fine because I tend to cover more indie games lately because they give me more pleasure really than the bigger ones out there. I mean, for instance, Resident Evil Village came out some time ago, and I applied for a key, but I was declined, and that was to be expected. So I usually focus on indie games. So that's a way to get keys. Sometimes indie developers even reach out to me. They found me on YouTube and they'll offer a key. That's quite rare, but it does happen every now and again. So that's the main source of how I get free games to play and review. Now, of course, besides that, I also buy my games. So usually I buy my games in a sale. And there are quite a few websites now that offer Steam keys, Green Man Gaming, Indie Gala. There's just a lot of those websites. They offer games in bundles, something like that. So if you really want to build a collection for very little money, then you should check out these websites. Fanatical is another one where you get a lot of these bundles of games. And that's a great source of getting a lot of games for a very small fee, so to speak. And of course, the regular Steam sales are also a good source of getting
Ember could feel
sort of
fear
cheap
taking over.
games, or games that are cheap.
They'd washed up
And
alone,
also you can just
somewhere very
set
unfamiliar.
the bar for like below $5 or something, and you get a whole range of games that are really very inexpensive. So that's also a way of getting a lot of games, to build a collection of games, and then you have a lot to choose from to play and review if you are an aspiring
Ember felt like they were being
YouTube
watched.
game reviewer. Other than that, well, sometimes I also buy games from
Foxes
somewhat
howled into the
shadier
The only
websites. There
silence.
are a few that seem less shady, but there are some out there. G2A. I don't really use G2A, but there's also ones called CD Keys or something like that, and they also offer fairly cheap prices or low prices for games. Again,
Ember
it
approached.
seems
The
legitimate,
flame seemed to
and I've
crawl out.
not ran into any problems when I buy a game. Usually, you'll get a key through the mail, but I'm hesitant usually, and
With a
I'd
feeling
rather
like
get a
falling,
key
the forest had
from the
slipped away.
developer, and then
Ember
keep in
felt
touch
lost in
with
darkness
them,
and
so you can
brooding.
actually build a relationship and cover their next game as well. So yeah, that's basically how you get free games, sort of free games, I guess, to review for a channel or to play. That's it for me. Hope you like this video. Hope this answers a bunch of questions for you guys. If you're an aspiring YouTuber and want to cover games, then, well, take this advice, and maybe it helps. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.